Hello, hello, hello. Just getting a few last things set up. So welcome. Well, I'll sort of start talking, I suppose. Welcome. This is our Temple of Balance healing event, the personal healing event for patrons. I do two healing events for patrons. So we have a personal healing event for our $50 patrons or more. So that's this particular one. So this is for specific people who receive 10 to 15 minutes of personal connection time. So that's what this is. And then our other healing event for patrons is what I call the healing list event, which is for $15 patrons or higher. So that's still everyone gets a mention, but it's less absolute personal time. That's taking place on Friday, by the way, that other healing event. So welcome. It's Tuesday the 28th of May here. I'm coming to you live from Tasmania, Australia, and I will be connecting with where's my little thing? Five patrons. Let me just take these crystals out of this little bowl so it doesn't clunk so much. So we have 5 patrons that I'm connecting with, and I've put those 5 people, their names on here. Hi, Susie. And I've put them in one of my little namaste pots. So I will pick the people at random. I will be starting. Hi, KantiDevi. Hi, Anita. Lovely to see you. So I will be smudging first, and then I'm going to explain a little bit what I'm going to be doing, and then I'm going to get straight into connecting. So I will be connecting specifically with these 5 people. If you're not one of the 5 people, or if I'm connecting with someone else while you're waiting, there's certainly still healing energy that you can receive. So I trust it's no accident that you happen to be here. So what I would do if I was connecting and watching and waiting for my turn, or I wasn't on the list, I would be open to hearing and feeling the parts of information or the parts that come through that really speak to me personally. I'd have my journal handy. Hi, Lisa. And I'd be writing down the notes and the little bits and pieces that stand out. So that's what I would be doing if I would be listening. Now, if you are on my list, thank you so much for your support. Hi, Randy. What I would be doing if you're waiting for your connection, if you're one of the 5 people today, I would be taking some big deep breaths and keeping yourself really open to receiving what you need. Keeping in mind that what you need and what you want can be 2 different things. So I'm very much interested in connecting with what you need. We only have a fairly short amount of time to connect, so whatever's loudest in your vibration is going to come through first and loudest for me, and I will then pick that up and interpret that as best as I can and talk through whatever it is that's coming up. I was going to talk more about what I'm doing after I smudge, but I guess it came out early. So I have my my smudge bowl and my sage smudge stick, which is, it was on its last legs. So it happens. We'll just light this little piece of sage. So this is our smudging time, just to prepare for our healing time. So take a nice deep breath, anyone on my list and anyone who's open to receiving. Nice big breath as we ask this sacred smoke to flow over us and carry away with it as it leaves our space all negative energies, entities, cords, hooks, attacks and attachments. We ask all that energy, that negativity, to leave our space now. And it's going to be really important for us to work with that. So to soften our mind, I think I need to light that again, and keep ourselves open to releasing everything that's holding us back at this time. So you can imagine breathing this stuff out and away, letting go of your stresses, the pressure that you're under, the things that you've been dealing with in your everyday life. Think about letting that stuff go and bringing all of your attention here as fully as possible. Anything that you have to do in life can wait, hopefully, until this is done. or maybe you can come back if you get disrupted. So let's also use this time to call forward the Great Spirit, our God and Goddess, all of our spiritual guides, our teachers, our loved ones in spirits, our ancestors, all beings of the light, and any other specific beings that we like to work with or energies. We ask them to come forward now, to come forward and support us, to come forward in love, to help hold this space and reveal to us what we need for our highest truth. And so it is. So thank you. Okay, let's get this little piece out. So yeah, I've kind of started talking a little bit about what I'll be doing. So I'll randomly pick each of the 5 people out, and I just trust what I sense. All of my psychic senses are actually quite open, but I am mainly an empath. So usually I'm going to feel first, and I'm very sensitive to feeling in my own body. And this is a way of connection that works for me. Other people may not work for them, but it has for me. I've been doing it or connecting in this way since I started Temple of Balance in 2005. And because I know my energy and my body and how I feel really, really well, then I know when I'm connecting with people what's not my feeling. So as I'm tuning into people, you might, I might feel stuff happening in my body, and I will explain or describe that as I go. And then when I finish the connection, that connection's finished. I don't take other people's stuff on. I choose not to do that. As I'm connecting with you, you may feel energy moving in your body, and this may also be appropriate if you're open to receiving, even if I'm not specifically connecting with you. If you're open to receiving some healing or some information or guidance as I connect with others, you may feel energy moving in your body. You may feel waves of emotion come to the surface, and you may feel aches or pains come and go in your body. So the really important thing is that the energy moves. So if you have an ache that comes up and it just stays, then there's something you might be holding on to. So it's important that the energy comes, but it also moves and changes and goes. That's how we know we're working with the energy and letting it clear properly. So the important thing is to let yourself be willing to let go as things come to the surface. The more you hold on, the more that energy is going to stay in place, if that makes sense. So what else do I need to talk about? I'll just explain and share things as I go. I can't hold things back, and I can't filter what comes through, because otherwise it blocks the flow of energy. So I have to trust that everything that I pick up is important to say. Sometimes what I say leads to something else that's important. So sometimes I have to get a certain image out of my head and say it so that it moves into the image that's important, if that makes sense too. So I just trust, basically. It's very hard to say what exactly is going to happen. We'll just see. So enjoy, sit back, relax, and I trust you enjoy our time together today. So Carol White, you're first. So Carol, take a nice big breath. And I'm going to pull a healing energy card for you and for each person at the beginning. And this will just be a starting point. I may read from the card, I may not, but I'm definitely going to flash it up. So Carol, your healing energy card is charging. So I'm just going to sit this in front of me, and I'm just going to tune in. So just take a nice big breath, Carol. Okay, I see this huge, actually it's not that huge. I see this bunch of flowers, and it's wrapped in this cellophane paper. And the cellophane paper goes up higher than the bunch of flowers. And you're being handed this. This bunch of flowers has a lot of pink shades, light pink shades. So it feels like a loving support, a gift that's been given to you. And I feel like it's coming from someone's heart to yours. So it's been gifted to you from someone's heart, and it's been handed over, and you're being encouraged to take it. I see your arms a little bit resistant to take this gift. to take this support, to take this offering that's been offered or given to you. And this may have already presented itself, or maybe something you're dealing with now. And if not, it will be very close to happening. But you're being encouraged to receive and to let this person, let this gift be given. Now, it may be a specific person. It may be like a business or a institution of some sort, or an energy that's coming over and offering you help. So help is here, and it's been given from the heart, and you've been encouraged to receive it from the heart too. So let yourself take these flowers and this offering of support and bring it into your heart and into your life, because I feel like you need this. And this is part of your own charging, recharging, refueling yourself, is to let others give to you and let yourself receive the gifts and the offerings, the opportunities that are coming your way. To be careful that you're not I want to say hard-hearted, and actually have put this armor over your heart to stop that, to keep yourself strong and independent and fierce, but recognizing that in some of those situations it's important to be to let your guard down and let your hard heart, that plate over your heart, open, and let those gifts come in. So there's gifts coming in, and I feel like these gifts are very much support, and they want to help take you to the next level. I'm being drawn now down to your sacral chakra, which feels a little bit heavy. So there's a little bit of heavy or a weighty kind of emotion that is sitting very low down in your sacral chakra. So if this feels like old emotion that has become a little bit heavy in your belly, in your physical body, and that this is stirring up as this gift or this offering has been offered to you, and as you let yourself receive without feeling guilty or without feeling like you owe something, that it's okay to receive, because this receiving is softening those hard emotions that have kind of hardened down in your sacral chakra. So I feel like I actually want to scoop out these hardened emotions that are sort of sitting in your belly really low around your sacral chakra. They feel, as if the emotions maybe started as water, and then they became mud, and now they're becoming, hi everyone, now they're becoming almost dried up mud, or fossilized mud down here in your belly. So it feels very hard. It feels quite old, and it's okay. So let's see what we need to do to clear that. Now imagine just coming in with my hand and just scooping. It's like scooping out really thick mud from your belly. So it's like having a hole in a rock, and the rock is filled with mud, with very liquidy mud, and just scooping and digging out all of that mud from that little rock hole. So that's what I feel like we're doing now, scooping these old emotions out. There's some energy moving here around the head as I do that. So there's a mental connection here, maybe more than you realize, to this emotional baggage, I guess, or weight that you might be carrying in your belly. So shifting that out, letting the mind thoughts and the negativity or the attachments, the mental attachments to these emotions go as well. It's almost a web, a net has been thrown over you. So just clearing that net, continuing to clear out this space in your belly. And as this happens, so as we work on clearing the belly and as we remove the net from around your head, it's like your heart opens further. So I feel this guard, this plate, this metal plate that you've had over your heart, or that you've put there, is actually softening and almost crumbling, or dissolving is probably a better word from what I feel here. And as that dissolves, your heart opens, and these offerings that are being offered to you from outside are being more welcomed. And I feel like these are coming from multiple directions. So it doesn't feel like there's one person offering you an opportunity or support or love or help. It doesn't feel like just one person. It feels like this is coming from several different sources, and it's showing you that you are not alone. And I feel like this is so important right now for you, Carol, to remember that you're not alone. So keep letting these old emotions clear out. Keep let's say, assessing what's going on in your mind and getting the net out of your mind space, and continue to open your heart. But I feel most importantly, continue to welcome in the gifts and the offerings, the help, the support that's been offered to you. Let yourself receive, and you deserve it, because it's really important right now that you know that you're not alone. So I'm going to pull an Animal Kingdom Oracle card just to finish this up for you, Carol, and see what this wants to add. So I trust this makes sense. And we'll go with this card for you. It's the Stallion card one. I adore this card so much. It's so inspiring. It says untie yourself. So untie yourself from the baggage, the emotional baggage, the mental baggage, and the hardness that you've put over your heart. And there's an independent feeling with this, but it feels healthier in some ways. So maybe it might be worth looking at whether your independence, your fierceness, that powerhouse of a woman that you are, is that still coming from a healthy place, or has it become a bit unhealthy for you? Are you hiding behind your fierce, strong, powerful woman that you are? So it might be something to explore, but I see you increasing and building that powerhouse that you are, but in a healthier way, and using that to break free of the shackles and set your wild spirit free. So freedom is here, and in fact you may be holding yourself back more than you realize. Yeah, what if you're the one that's tying yourself in the shackles? It's a big thing to confront, but it feels like that there's something in that perhaps to explore, especially if that stirs something up in you. So thanks so much, Carol, and thanks so much for your support, and I trust this resonates. Namaste. Okay, thank you. Let's now go to the next person from my list. It's David Magness. So David, I don't know if you're watching, take a nice deep breath, and we'll see which healing energy card you need, and then we'll see what comes up for you. So, nice big breath. We have third eye opening. So this is very much about your intuition opening, and the key to that being trust right now. There's something shifting too in your DNA, it feels like, with this. So there's a shifting in the very cells of your body. So as I first started tuning in, before I even pulled a card, David, I felt, and I still continue to feel this, what would it be? Heavy? Is it heavy? I'm just feeling what it feels like. It feels a bit like a pushing forward energy that's coming in at the base of your skull. So the base of your skull, which is just under your occipital bone. I don't know if I pronounced that properly. I haven't said that for a while since I've been hairdressing. I finished hairdressing. But just below your little bone there at the base of your skull, there's a spot there. And it feels, it's getting my attention. So the feeling that I have here is a pushing forward feeling. Now, this is, interestingly enough, what's interesting to me is the back of your third eye chakra. So all your chakras have fronts and backs, except for the crown and the base chakra, which are opposites of each other. But the third eye chakra here, the back of that is actually around here at the base of the skull. And that's the area that's getting my attention. So there's a pushing forward feeling here. And I feel like there's, so that pushing forward almost feels like a hand behind you that's at the back of your head that's trying to push you forward in your life. But push you forward, especially in the area connecting with your third eye chakra. So your third eye chakra is your center for vision, intuition, and trust. Now, because it's coming through at the back, this tells me that there's something connected with the past, especially with trust issues, especially trusting in your own abilities is a feeling here. I feel like in the past, either this lifetime or another lifetime, that your abilities, your spiritual, psychic, intuitive abilities were suppressed and shut down. I feel like your abilities, your sensitivity, your ability to dream, your ability to be different, to be weird and just a different person to what some people might see around them. I feel like you were squashed down into what looks to me, what do you call those things? Is it like a shelter from a tornado? I don't know, we don't have them here, but I've seen them in the movies. Like on The Wizard of Oz is the one that comes to mind, where there's that sort of wooden door, or that door that leads down into an underground chamber. So I guess some type of shelter, and it feels like a part of you was suppressed and put down into this shelter, and the door shut and locked up. And this is the part, this feels like it's where it's been stored at the base of your skull. And I see this little trap door there leading into this shelter, and this part of you that's been trapped inside, and I can feel like the chains and the locks on the outside door rattling from the movement and the need from this part of you inside that's been trapped to be free. So there's a part of you here that wants to be free, and I can feel it quite frantically and energetically, like rattling at the chains, trying to get out and trying to find a way free of this trapped feeling. So I don't know if you've been feeling trapped lately, or feeling like something's not quite right, or like you're wanting to move forward but there's an obstacle in your way, or you're wanting to move forward but you don't have the motivation or the focus to actually do the physical moving forward. There's sort of that feeling too. And also you might find that you've reached a level in your spirituality, or a level of your psychic interests and psychic development that has reached a bit of a stalemate, or a little bit of a plateau, because it feels like you've been growing and growing and growing, and you've reached a point now where this trapped part of yourself now needs to be set free, so that you can continue to grow and continue to move forward. So basically, another angle to look at this is your soul wants you to move forward, but a part of you is trapped in the past. So we need to untrap you. Now, as I say that, I'm feeling a lot of pressure coming in around the head. So there's a lot of mental energy that's connected here in regards to why you're trapped, holding yourself, being trapped, freeing yourself, and things connected with this. So there's a mental connection here. And maybe blowing things out of proportion is sort of a feeling that's coming up as well. But a lot of mental energy coming forward here, and it feels like it's really accumulating around your head and becoming quite pressured. Also around the eyes, so how you're seeing and what you're perceiving and what you're focusing on is also distorted and in alignment, if you like, with this trapped part of yourself. So I feel like you can't in many ways move forward until you've freed this part of yourself that's trapped. So it was trapped because you were different, basically. And what those specifics of that difference is may be something for you to explore if it's something that you want to. But you were different. So you were squashed and put aside and trapped into this box to try and conform or be turned or transformed into something more sociably acceptable. But the time now is for you to break free. So I imagine walking around behind you, and I see this trapdoor sitting here right at the base of your skull, and it's locked up, it's chained up. The interesting thing with the chains is the chains are very shiny, the chains are very new. So even though this feels like a past thing, it's still very actively playing out, but probably based on your mindset in this time in your life. So let's do what we need to do. Okay, so I've got some axe or something, and I just hacksaw to hack away or chop away this padlock, and the padlock is keeping the chains joined up. So as this padlock is broken, if you like, it also frees the chains. The padlock drops down to the ground, the chains drop to the ground as well, and they just return back to the earth and transform back into love. So now you have no locking devices, if you like, over this door. And I just open this door, it opens outward, and it's opening on the right side over to the left. And there's this little part of you coming out of the darkness, leaping out like a hungry dog, or a dog or an animal that hasn't eaten for quite a while, and it feels almost like a desperation, flee from this trapped place. So you leave this place, and there seems to be like a clearing in the earth, just sort of right near here. So just sort of right next door. from where I'm standing, if I'm looking at this trap door, it's like this part of you's run out and stood sort of beside me on the earth. And here you just stand. You feel very weakened, this part of you, but the sun is shining above and the sun's shining down and energizing and building your energy up. And also the earth underneath you is supporting you and helping stabilize your body. So every passing moment, it feels like you're getting stronger and stronger and taller and straighter in your body. And as that happens, I just now go and focus back at this trapdoor area where that trapdoor was. The trapdoor's actually gone, and I'm just feel now this space, so the space where the shelter was, if you like, just feeling that with a really beautiful, rich turquoise, green, blue light, and just fills up that whole area. It's a bit sort of smoky feeling too. Just fills it up, and that'll start shifting and working on that area too. So now I feel it's about re-strengthening yourself, bringing yourself back into alignment with who you are, and increasing your trust now going forward. Also paying attention to what's going on in your mind, and make sure that your mind is supporting what you want to do next and how you want to move forward. So thank you, David. Let's grab an Animal Kingdom Oracle card to finish this off and add whatever it wants to add to this connection. So we have the Crocodile card 5. It says stand in your survival power. So you are a survival and you're being encouraged to tap into your primal power. So this is very important in regards to helping re-strengthen you. And you might find over the next day or two, or even up to 3 days, that you might feel that you're in a sort of re-strengthening phase. And it's probably going to be important for you to just connect in with your primal power. So this can also be connected with your everyday physical activities. You know, just going about, sleeping in your bed, taking a shower, eating your food, cleaning up your house, running chores or errands. These very physical survival things are probably ways too that you'll be able to increase your personal power and bring that part of yourself that was once rejected into your body, into alignment, so that you can continue moving forward. So I trust that makes sense for you, David, and thank you so much for your support. Namaste. Okay, let's continue. Next is KantiDevi Wedad. Take a nice deep breath. I'm just going to grab a drink before I start. So how's everybody feeling? Are you feeling good? Is anything resonating with you that's for someone else at this time? This energy is quite strong today. Oh, it's usually quite strong actually. So KantiDevi, nice big breath. And let's see which healing energy card you need today. Okay, we'll grab this here for you. It's support, card 52. So it's really important for you to know that you're supported. So let's just tune in, KantiDevi, and see what's loudest in your vibration. Okay, the first thing that's getting my attention is the area of your head. Again, there's a very strong mental energy that's coming through in general across the board today so far, and also the area across your shoulders. So I'm seeing these quite visually as a egg shape and like 2 planks that come down. That's how I'm seeing it at this time. And what I'm feeling in my body is pressure around the head. It's a different pressure though than I felt like in David's energy, which felt very heavy and very much around the eyes. This doesn't feel quite as heavy, and it feels more focused around the crown chakra, the crown area of your head, and a general heaviness over your shoulders. So the general heaviness over the shoulders, this is the shoulder energy. What I know, the energy that I've connected with, I know this is burdens. These are burdens that you're carrying. And these burdens that you're carrying are actually feel like, connected with your crown chakra, feel like they're actually making you or contributing to helping you feel disconnected and separate. So these may be your everyday burdens that you face or that you deal with in your life, in your community, or even your own burdens that you carry within yourself, your own insecurities. Let's see. And there's a like a blindfold sort of thing, a bandage that's over your third eye chakra here at the front. And it sort of feels like if your third eye chakra was this torch, this light here that you wore on your forehead, it feels like a handkerchief or a little cloth or a bandage is covering that. And there's only a very slight light that's shining through because it's been muted by this covering. So this is showing me that you might not be feeling that connected to your intuition in general at this time, because there is a slight disconnection feeling here that I'm picking up around the crown, and a muted feeling here around your intuition, and a burden that you're carrying over your shoulders. So let's start by releasing this burden that you carry. So these just feel like planks of wood, which often the burdens appear to me as. They feel like heavy, almost waterlogged actually. Waterlogged planks of wood. So the waterlogged energy, that tells me there's emotions connected with this baggage that you're carrying, or these burdens that you're carrying over your shoulders. So emotional connection there as well, because they're like dripping with water. They feel like they've been soaking in a river for weeks or months, and they're just very waterlogged and very heavy with emotion. So if these were drier, they probably wouldn't feel as heavy as what they do now. So they feel like they're getting heavier and heavier. And as they get heavier and heavier, I feel this area through here that's covering your third eye chakra feels like it's getting thicker and thicker. So the more emotional stagnation almost that's been that builds up on these burdens, the more it actually blocks off your intuition. So let's clear these burdens that you carry over your shoulders, and this feels like it's going to be really easy to do. So let's just push your shoulders back and drop these boards down the back of your body, where they just drop to the earth and return back to love. And they drop down with a big thunk because they're really heavy and really waterlogged. So this is already feeling lighter here through the shoulders. You might, I've got this feeling that these burdens are probably something that you deal with just in life. And so it might be something that you need to check in with often to make sure that you're often clearing the burdens that you're accumulating just from your everyday life situation. That's if you can't make changes right now. So it might be something to check in with, every day or every few days, to make sure that you're not accumulating burden here over your shoulders. So as that burden's cleared, there's also a clearing and an opening here in the heart, which feels like this opens up. I didn't realize that was also being blocked or covered up from this burden that you carried over your shoulders. So your heart opens up here. Your crown chakra is shifting, and I see a ladder that's coming in into your crown chakra that's leading right up into the stars above and into wherever it wants to go. I don't know where the top of this ladder is, but there's a ladder here, and this is a rebuilding of your connection to spirit, your connection to yourself, your connection to your life. So it's probably a bit tricky sometimes when you're in physical situations or in a physical setting where you're dealing with everyday pressures or everyday burdens that you carry, to not let that disconnect you. So it's probably going to take a little bit more effort, I guess, in some ways, for you to continue keeping these burdens free so that you can continue to stay connected. So as the burdens accumulate, it feels almost like it disconnects you at the same time. So with the burdens cleared, there's a reconnecting feeling, and the ladder runs are becoming stronger rather than a feeling of being chopped off here at the head. So a sense of reconnecting. Now, through this third eye chakra, let's remove this kind of bandage so that your light, your intuitive light, can shine as bright as it can. So there's a bandage here, a handkerchief, if you like, over the torch, the light of your third eye chakra. So I'll just peel this back here from the left side, peel it back over to the right, and drop that bandage down to the earth, where it just returns back to love. back to energy. And straight away as that happens, it's like a switch is turned up here on the torch of your third eye chakra, and the light beams out bright and strong, going forward into your life's path. So the forward movement, the future, if you like, what's to come in your life's path. So there's a sense of establishing strength in your intuition and trusting that a little bit more as well. So, trust that makes sense, KantiDevi. Let's grab an Animal Kingdom Oracle card to add to this. See what this wants to add. So, what will it be? Yes, your energy's feeling much clearer and more connected. We'll go with this. It's the Earth Dragon, card 25. It says physical reformation. So this is the reforming of your life and parts of your life. Great. Thanks, KantiDevi. As you walk your path, as your intuition now can see further ahead and sense further. So I'm not saying your intuition wasn't strong before, but it just feels like it was muted. And now it's stronger and brighter. If you had a torch here in the middle of the night, you'd be able to see further, rather than a light here that had a battery that was going flat, and you might only be able to see a short distance ahead. So with a stronger intuition and third eye chakra here, it feels like it's got a wider range and a further reach with its light. So as your intuition builds, and as your vision and the distance of your connection, if you like, or your intuition broadens, it feels like you'll be able to mold your life and what you want to bring into your life, or what you want to increase and what you want to decrease in your life. So as the dragon walks on the earth, it's like it pulls land up with one paw and pushes land down with its other paw or foot, or whatever you call the dragon's feet. And that's a bit what's going on in your life right now. So this is a powerful time of physical change, is what we could also say. So thanks, KantiDevi. Thanks so much for your support, and I trust this resonates and supports you at this time. So thank you. We have 2 more connections to make, and I trust everybody's feeling great. The next person I'm connecting with is Courtney Smith. So Courtney, take a nice big breath, please. Actually, I'll just have a quick drink. Okay, thank you. Thanks, KantiDevi. Great. Okay, Courtney. Your card is Sacred Love. This is very much about self-love. So very much about increasing how you feel about yourself and how accepting you are of yourself. So take a nice big breath, Courtney, and we'll see what is loudest in your vibration. Okay, the first thing that's coming in strongly is the energy around your neck, which feels very stiff and rigid. So I feel like the first thing I need to just suggest for you to think about is if you've become a little bit too rigid with your words, rigid with your way of thinking, rigid with what you're doing or expressing. Meaning, have what you've expressed become something that you're not really thinking about but just doing automatically? Has your truth and what you're passionate and felt like they aligned with your truth, has that become a belief and something now that you just parrot without really thinking about whether that truth, whether that expression actually matches the truth and the person that you've become? So there's something that feels a bit rigid, and because it's connected here around the neck, around your throat, it makes me feel like it's probably words that you say, words that you speak, that may have become a little bit rigid or a little bit harsh, a little bit, we could use the word untrue in some ways, meaning that those words may not match up with your current space of truth and who you've become today. So maybe something to think about, what's become rigid with your speaking and what you're saying. So that's important to talk about first. Now, with that aside, perhaps, I'm now being drawn down to your lower back here. So your lower back is the back of your sacral chakra, and your sacral chakra is your emotional center. So there's energy shifting from the past that's connected with old emotions that you store in your lower back. And I'm seeing the visual of this really old, worn, comfortable chair. You know, this chair that you may have sat in forever, and it's become so worn, it's worn out. All the cushioning's left, or the covering's been worn away. There's something worn out. And this may also be connected with what I've already talked about around your neck, because there's sort of a feeling here of the chair becoming very rigid and stiff and old and worn, outdated, expired, past its use-by date, let's say. And that may be, we may be looking at what I was talking about here from a different perspective. So have some of your words become outdated, or not really matching up with your truth any longer. So back to your lower back and this comfortable, well, I don't know if it's that comfortable anymore, but it's still a chair that seems to be sat in. And there's this energy here now moving in your solar plexus chakra. So there's a feeling here of loss of personal power and giving your power away to something that maybe used to be comfortable, but doesn't feel like it is anymore. It feels like it's just more of a loyal attachment somehow. Hello. It feels more like a loyal attachment. So, you know, doing something or finding something kind of comfortable out of obligation because it used to be comfortable. So I guess we can think of this too as like maybe a connection with another person that may have used to have been comfortable and fresh and cushiony and comfortable, but perhaps now it's become almost something you feel obligated to keep in your life, whereas it feels like it's become outworn, it's become outdated. And if this is a person, maybe the connection has become outworn or outdated, or almost feels like a foreign matter now in your space. So where this has been held is the lower back, so old emotions. But there's a lot of energy stirring here in the solar plexus chakra. So your solar plexus definitely tells me that your power has been given away to this old object or this old way of speaking, this old relationship, this old thing that has now become just part of the furniture. I trust this is making some sort of sense. So what I feel like we need to do is actually, we need to get this chair out. We need to get this chair, which represents this old emotion, out of your space. So if your space was your home, it feels like the big ugly chair that's sitting in the corner of the room that maybe someone gave to you years and years ago that you used to love but you just don't like now. And everything around in this home space has been updated and continues to match with the person that you've become as you get rid of things and bring new things in. But this old chair, it's just like the elephant in the room that just is stuck there somehow and really difficult to face perhaps and very difficult to remove. So this is probably something that you may have been avoiding, something perhaps about your past that you don't want to look at, but it's there as, you know, it's like a sore thumb on your hand, feels like it just really stands out because it's throbbing or what have you. So it's kind of always there getting your attention, but it feels like it's not healthy. So we need to get rid of this. So let's do it. Let's call in the removalists. And I feel like the removalists, this van pulls up to this space, your space, which feels like a house right now. It backs up the truck to the front door. And these 4 men in uniform, like removalist uniform, just overalls and what have you, and a cap. One guy's got a clipboard. and they're coming in to take this chair out. They're also coming in to take out more things if you want more things to be removed. But this chair is their main focus, and they're going to do this first because we're not going to avoid it now. It feels like it's been avoided and dusted over and covered over too many times. So the four men move straight into this corner where this big chair is, and it's actually huge now that they stand next to it. It needs 4 people to remove it. It's got very heavy, like hardwood, and it's just heavy. This big, heavy chair. And they pick up each corner and slowly move it out of this space of yours, out the front door and into the back of the truck, where they're going to take it to be burned. So now they stand at the door with a checklist, and they've got other things to remove as well. So we've got to trust in this clearing that things that are being cleared out are things that you no longer need, that no longer support your forward movement or your growth at this time. So they one guy ticks the checklist as single guys just grab lamps and little bits and pieces, vases and stools, flower pots of dead plants, and start putting them into this truck. And the truck door shuts now, the checklist is totally ticked off, and they drive just over the road, and the whole truck just bursts into flame, burning away all this old stuff. And as this burns away, there's a complete opening here of your lower back and also your solar plexus chakra and the throat. It feels like a brace that you've been wearing over your throat around your neck has been removed. So interesting. Let's grab an Animal Kingdom Oracle card to add to this, Courtney, and see what that wants to add. So we have this. It's a featured card. It says take the 3rd card from the top, which is this. Look at this. Now, if we ever needed a confirmation, not that I do, but if anyone does, Courtney, this is it. This is the seasonal cycle featured timing card. So this talks about 3 months. And over the next 3 months, it's going to be important to follow Frog's message. Frog says to cleanse your environment, your inner and outer environment. So continue to clear away the stuff that you've accumulated. This could be physical stuff. It might be old clothing. It might be bits of furniture, dead plants, pot plants. It's also emotional baggage and emotional stuff that you've been carrying inside, clearing and detoxing your body as well. So over the next 3 months, this is going to be important for you to think about clearing and cleansing, getting the old stuff out that doesn't match up with who you are any longer. So thank you, Courtney. I trust that makes sense and resonates, and thank you so much for your support. Namaste. Okay, last person. Now, if anyone that's connecting who's not on the list would like to be a part of the next one, which happens in June, you can register by becoming a patron on my Temple of Balance Patron page. This particular healing event is for $50 patrons or higher. So that $50, you get access to this, plus you get little readings, you get an art print that you can print out. You also become a Pillar of Light family member, receive meditations. There's lots of different things that are included in the $50 package. So if it's something that you resonate with, please have a look on my Patreon page. The link should be in this video. And also you can cancel anytime, so just so you know. The last person I'm connecting with is the beautiful Radzy. So Radzy, take a nice big breath and we'll see what comes up for you and what's loudest in your vibration today. So thank you. So the best healing energy card for you, Radzy, is, yes, it's $50 a month, but you can cancel at any time. It's new vibration, card 38. This is new energy that's coming into your space, Radzy. So this feels like I get this really strong phoenix feeling of breakthrough, taking things and parts to your life to the next level and moving into a new vibration. So an upgrade of sorts, if you like. That's what I'm feeling coming in strongly. But let's tune in, Radzy, and see what's coming up or what I'm sensing here in your body or in your energy field. Okay, I see a doorway right in front of you. and it's within arm's reach, so it's very close, what I would say energetically close, although if it was really close it would be right here at your nose, but it is within arm's reach, so it is relatively close to come into your life. And it's this big doorway. It stands about twice the height of you and 2 or 3 or 4 times the width, so it's really quite wide, and very, very tall, and it feels black and white. So every now and then the door feels white, the frame feels black, and then it switches and the door feels black and the frame feels white. So there's a very black and white feeling here. So a sense of balance is what I would think with black and white, that's coming through. And I feel like a need here to reach forward with your right arm over to the left side where the door handle is, turn the knob and pull the door open. So I see this door as an opportunity. I feel that this is a new level or a new phase that you're moving to in your life that's very much in arm's reach. So it's very close or perhaps in the pipeline now. And I feel like all you need to do is reach forward. So take action, get some things into place, create a plan, or reach out, ask for help, or seek advice from experts in the field or what have you. Take action, the action that's needed to be able to move over and undo this handle and pull the door open so you can walk through it. So there's a little bit of action that needs to be taken, like phone calls, reaching out, planning, that sort of feeling here. And there's also probably a timing thing. There feels to be a timing thing. There's something here about 2 to 3 weeks, I feel, from this time space. So there's something too that's waiting on the date or waiting on the time for it to start, or the time for it to, the date to come around is sort of the feeling here too. But let's energetically move your hand over, turn this handle, it's a round knob, and pull this door open. So as we pull the door open, and as the door opens over your body, if you like, or in front of your body, it sort of opens your body as it moves. So the whole body starts opening, just like you're peeling back a skin or peeling back a layer of yourself from the right, from the left side to the right. Shifting something here, just in the nape of your neck, just on the right side. There's an energy here that's moving. Something's unpinned from your neck that's going to help you see and turn with more range, if you like, a little bit more like an owl's range energetically. So there's something unpinned here, so you can see more, so you can perceive more and notice more. And this skin, this layer that's peeled back, this is peeling back because you don't need it going forward. So it's like the skin, you know, when you heat milk on a stove top in a saucepan and it gets that skin of milk on top, it's like that. And so this skin of milk sort of looking thing clears off here. But the reason it's removed is because you don't need it where you're going. So there's something that's shifting within you that you don't actually need going forward. And the steps that you take now going through this doorway are going to be connecting with the action that you take and the timing of this opening up. So let's energetically just move you forward so we can get you as prepared as possible. I feel your hips, even though your legs are striding forward and you're taking these kind of strides forward with your legs, I feel like there's a lot of movement here coming from your hips. So hip movement forward, 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 and into this new room that you've stepped into. And this new room is just total gold, golden energy. It's like we've stepped into a pyramid or something from Egypt. It's just totally gold everywhere, golden light. It's not a heavy gold. It's a very light, energetic, light gold, if you like. And as I get more attuned to this room, it actually is in a pyramid shape. And there's a little seat here down on the floor and another seat next to it. And as you go and sit down on the floor here, like on a golden cushion, it's like you're waiting for someone to come into this room with you. And this may be what you're waiting on too, timing wise. There's someone about to join you in a very sacred space and in a very sacred way is the feeling here. And I feel this is a big thing you're preparing for. And I don't know if you can feel, but the energy's just shifted. So there's a very deepening, calming feeling that's coming forward now. Let's grab an Animal Kingdom Oracle card for you, Radzy, and see what that wants to add here. Okay, we have this, the elephant. The elephant says family commitments. This feels like a general stabilizing of your energy and a feeling of a commitment that you're making. We could probably remove the family word right now, although family may be involved in some way, but it feels like this is very much about the commitment that you're making to yourself and your forward movement. And this has got the yellow around it, that golden energy. And I almost feel like you're like this elephant sitting in this golden pyramid room, just waiting, just patiently holding space while you wait for this other elephant to join you, this other person, this other being to come in and teach you or join with you. There's a sense of equality that you're waiting. This person or this being that's coming forward feels to be someone of equal vibration to you. So your commitments now going forward, your commitments to raising your vibration, stepping into new doorways and new opportunities, and knowing that you're ready for it. This feels like a big upgrade, an opportunity that's coming your way. So I trust that makes sense, Radzy, and thanks so much for your support. Thank you. Okay, that's everyone that's on my healing list for today. So thank you so much for your support, everybody, and for being a patron. Your patronage really helps me be able to do my work full time. I'm really, really grateful. So thank you so much. If you have had healing energy stirred for you, whether I connected with you specifically or not, I recommend that you drink lots of water, listen to your body, and be kind and gentle to yourself, especially over the next few days. Thank you. And just allow the energy to settle and work with the parts that really stood out or the parts that were a bit confronting to you. Oh, thank you. Well, come back again. I'm hosting a few more healing events on my YouTube channel because the connection's much better and the quality's better, and I don't think this has dropped. Facebook is very unpredictable and unstable. So, it's a good place to come, especially if Facebook goes, yeah, if they keep blocking things. I'll be coming over to YouTube more often. So thank you so much. And I look forward to connecting with any of you who would like to be a patron at this pledge level, if you like, next month for our healing event. So I will be in touch early in June with the dates and times, and we'll schedule it in here on YouTube, and I'll be back connecting in a similar way. If you are interested in the way I connect, if this resonates with you and you would really love me to connect with you, I love connecting in this way. There are a couple of different options. So first of all, we have this option, which is the 10 or 15 minutes once a month. You can cancel any time, so you can just do one off if you want. That's $50 or more exchange on my Patreon page, plus you have access to other good things. There is also another option that's more in-depth, and that is a phone or a video connection like this, where we connect for an hour or more. That's a one-off service called Intuitive Energy Healing, which you can find on my website. So that's that. And I think they're really the main ways that I offer this service now. Yes, so the $50 on Patreon, that's USD, because Patreon only accepts US dollars. So it's $50 through Patreon, or any other thing on my website, like the Intuitive Energy Healing, the hour or longer service, that's in Australian dollars. So have a look if you want to, see if anything resonates, if it speaks to you. If you're not sure or you have questions, don't hesitate to make contact, and I can point you in the right direction if you need that. But thank you so much. I really do love connecting in this way, and I really trust that what's come through has helped support you. on your journey moving forward. So thank you. Have a fantastic rest of your day. And if you want to learn more about me, then please visit, or my work, please visit templeofbalance.com.au. Thank you so much. Wow, I look forward to that, Diana. So thanks everyone, and sending you lots of love from my heart to yours. Namaste. See you next time.